Praise be to Allah, the Lord of the universe. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursaleen wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in, and peace and blessings and our salutations upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, his family and those who follow his footsteps. It's a very interesting topic to discuss today. Islam in the City. Very catchy title, and I think it's a very good title, and we should talk more about it. But before I do go into the topic of Islam in the city, I think we need to establish some parameters of discussion first. Firstly, and most importantly, may I say, most Muslims today in Britain, living in London, those who have had their parents come to this country ages and ages ago, have now become very indigenous, in my understanding, in quote unquote. So indigenous that they feel part and parcel of the landscape, I hope. However, some migrant communities are still coming to join. And when they see the Muslim communities and their current level of integration and contribution, they do feel, I believe, confident and also move in the direction of becoming part and parcel of this very society. The other day, I was invited to London Eye to attend some sort of a program. And as we were being welcomed, we were ushered into the capsule. One lady from London Eye's PR department came up to me and said, "Excuse me, sir, I just wanted to make sure you know that there is no allowance for religious activities inside the capsule." I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You can't pray inside." That's what I mean. I said, "So why are you telling me this?" She goes, "When we tell most people this, especially since you guys are Muslims, we thought we'll let you know." I said, "That's very interesting. If I want to pray, I'll pray even if I'm in the company of the Prime Minister. I don't think he'll be able to stop me from my prayers. If my prayer time is due, I will pray. And it is part and parcel of my right as a human being, as a citizen, and of course following the European directives on respecting and honouring people's rights to culture and religious sensitivities." So then she said, "Oh, we even tell English people not to pray." I said, "I beg your pardon? English people? I'm English too." Jaws just dropped. What? She didn't know what hit her. She didn't expect me to respond in that way. She expected me to say, "Oh, it's all right, don't worry." Then she goes backtracking quickly. "Why am I Christians?" I said, No. You've already said it. There will be a formal complaint sent to your company very soon, not against you, but about your policy. I can pray wherever I want, as long as I'm not causing trouble and disturbance to others or breaking the peace. Well, the reason why I could speak so confidently and claim to be English is because I believe I've become part and parcel of this society. This is my country, this is my home, and I'm not going anywhere very fast. My father came to this country in 1956, and he said he was going to go back in 10 years' time. It's 2009 and he's still here. And I pray, and I hope you pray for him, that he stays here for longer with good health and long life, just like most of our parents. So, parameter for discussion is, this is our home. We're not going anywhere. First and foremost principle I need to establish. And that's why London as a city and the capital of this country matters to us. And here, to see Islam in the city is also essential part and parcel of that discourse. Any city, brothers and sisters, needs few key ingredients for the city to function well. Whether they're Muslim or non-Muslim is immaterial. Number one, it needs a set of good citizens. A set of good citizens. How can Islam contribute towards, and what has Islam done towards creating such good citizens in this very city? I think we need to look into that a bit more carefully and in more detail, rather than scratch on the surface. And I don't want you to go by the sensationalist tabloid newspaper headlines. No, I want you to go beyond that and see the contribution of Muslims in this very city as this city grows faster and faster. It is predicted that in 20 years' time, London would have more than 40% of its population Muslim. You should not be alarmed by these statistics. You should not be worried about it. It's a good news. It's a good news because the city would become hopefully more prosperous. And in that prosperity of the city, a community who was very small who have grown over time, who have found confidence, will also equally contribute towards its well-being. It's good news. But more importantly, the reason why it's good news, a good Muslim is likely to be a good citizen. And I think that makes the key and the foremost feature of a city paramount. A good Muslim, by this I mean a conscientious Muslim. A good citizen is also a conscientious citizen. What does conscientious mean? It means, my dear police officers, your duty and your job would rather become, I would rather see your job become redundant, not your employment to end. But I would rather see less police officers on the street because you're running around trying to catch criminals. I would rather see less of that. I would rather see individuals becoming conscientious enough not to commit the crime. So you can sit there twiddling your thumb and wait for something to happen. I think that would be a progressive society, a sign of progress in a society, and sign of conscientious citizen of a city, of a state, of a country. Not that long ago, we were organizing an event in Lincoln called Living Islam. Some of you may have attended it. In Living Islam, it was straight after July the 7th bombing in London. On that very month in July, towards the end of the month, we were organizing the event. 5,000 people from across the country came. Police officers, rightly so, were worried that some lunatic may come to attack, destroy the peace and stability of the organization and the family or event. We were under tremendous pressure to cancel it, but we did not want to cancel. They sent 200 police officers on site with everything ready, just in case something happens. We started on Thursday. Thursday went, no incident. Friday went, no incident. Not even a single report to any police officers. Police officers were just walking around, getting lots of smiles and smiling back. They were having a good time. But by Friday evening, when the police officers had done an evaluation of their presence, they had decided they're wasting their time, so they reduced it by half. So instead of 200, they left 100 police officers. Saturday morning, no incident. They reduced it by half again. 50 police officers left on the ground. Saturday night, they decided, hell with it all, we're not going to have any police officers doing anything at this rate. We're going to reduce it further. They only left 25 police officers to man an event of 5,000 people. 25 police officers stayed until the end on Sunday. And the police commander-in-chief later on said he has attended many events in his life. Never has he attended an event where not a single reported incident, not a single scuffle, not a single squabble, not a single argument, not a single report to the police has been lodged. Throughout the weekend, usually on that site, whenever there are events happening, it's normally on a Saturday night, maximum number of people cause maximum number of trouble because they've been drinking too much. Muslims don't drink. Half of the problem gone. Conscientious, they're driven by their conscience of God and their understanding of their faith, their loyalty to their faith. So you don't need police officers to man us, Muslims, in your community, in our communities, because we would be individually and selflessly motivated to do good. That's what I mean by conscientious citizen. So a good citizen, a good Muslim, in a good city like London, has made tremendous contribution, and Muslims are carrying on with that contribution. Muslim communities and a good citizen, wherever they come from, must also be caring, must be concerned, and must be neighbourly. Islam, by its nature, has made it absolutely essential that we as Muslims must care for our neighbours. Prophet said, he is not a Muslim who goes to sleep with his stomach full while his neighbour goes to sleep hungry. So I'm not even a Muslim if I don't care for my neighbour. Not just care, not just welfare, but not even go and inquire at the depth of the night, perhaps in the evenings when the person is about to sleep, have you eaten? And to that